I love it, don't get me wrong, I love it. It's very hard, your body's tired, your body's beat. It's not easy, man, it's a tough sport. I mean, one punch can change your life.
Well, we first made contact with Amir. I was living in London and we were looking for a long-form project to start developing. Oliver Clark and myself, the other co-director on this film. And we saw an article in the newspaper one day on the way home, and it's a small article about Amir being the potential opponent for Mayweather before he retired. He had about 3 fights left, I think, on a Showtime contract. And a lot of people were saying that Amir had a very good shot at becoming one of those final opponents. So we reached out to Amir just on his website, went to amirkhanworld.com, went to the contact page and just sent him a quick email just saying, hey, we're two filmmakers based in London. Looks like this next year is going to be quite exciting for you. Would love to come and talk to you about potentially documenting the journey. And so sure enough, the next day his uncle Taz gave us a call. He'd seen the email from the website and said, why don't you come up to Bolton, have a chat and pitch us an idea. And so that's what we did. We went up to Bolton, which is in the north of England where Amir is based, and we just started talking to them and saying, look, it looks like this could be a really interesting year, a really exciting journey. Would love to be there and perhaps document it. So really, we actually started one fight earlier, which was the Devon Alexander fight. One fight before the Devon Alexander fight, which was the... let me start that again. So we started filming with Amir and the team just as he'd gone up a weight division into 147, and his first fight was versus Luis Galazzo. He was actually on the undercard of the Mayweather Maidana fight. Now, Amir had already fought and beaten Maidana, and he was like, oh, you should have picked me, but never mind, I'm going to come step up a weight, have put on a good performance versus Galazzo, and then people are going to start screaming for the Khan versus Mayweather. So that was it. We actually only decided to do the film. It's going to be called A Year with Amir, and it's going to follow Amir for that year. 2014 was looking like his year that he was going to get a big super fight at the end. At the end of that year, there was no super fight in the making, and so we just kind of had to keep the journey going. Amir was very open to us being there. I think he's quite used to the cameras and the attention. He won a silver medal at the Olympic Games when he was 17, came back to England and was pretty well known from then on. So I think he's kind of grown up. The later stages of his childhood and adulthood have been with cameras and microphones around. So I think he was pretty comfortable with it. But as you see from the film, it is quite an invasive experience for the others around, in the team. We didn't do any sit-down interviews, so therefore had to just make sure we were there recording conversations and things that were happening live in the moment. That was the experience we wanted to bring to the audience, that they felt part of the team, part of Team Khan. So he was really good with it, actually. Virgil Hunter used to get... he was great. He gave us access, and again, it was something that perhaps wasn't his decision. Amir wanted this, so Virgil graciously accepted our presence within the gym and leading up to the fights. I think the days before the fights, as you'll see in the film, things start to get a bit tense, and Virgil wanted Amir 100% focus. So that was when the times became a bit tricky. For us, they were the most interesting moments of these kind of fight weeks, were the moments leading up to when a fighter walks into the ring. And for Virgil and for the other team, they were also the most kind of precious in terms of focus. And the fewer distractions in their mind, the better. So it was always that balance. What was good for the movie was usually moments that they wanted to be kept private. So it was a constant kind of back and forth between us and the team about when we could come in. But I think overall, everyone was very welcoming. I think we built up trust quite quickly. We went to the Galazzo fight first, which precedes where the story starts in the film, and I think they could see that we were really dedicated. We didn't go and sell any stories to the papers, and our hearts were in the right place, and we were truly trying to make a film above all else. So we made a decision at the beginning of the film that we wanted to create a film that was really, truly fly on the wall, where we were there to observe what was going on without really leading any of the questions, kind of with any of our cast, with any of the characters. So it's a good assumption, actually, and I think it's correct. When we started the project, we weren't boxing fans, to be honest. Didn't really know much about boxing and didn't know that much about Amir. He's got quite a profile in the UK, so we were aware of him, but again, didn't really know much about his story or the type of person that he was. So going into it, the more we learn about the sport, the more we started to understand the intricacies of how it works, the more we became interested and the more we started to fall in love with boxing overall. So by the end of it, we were huge boxing fans, and that's kind of stuck. We're big boxing fans right now, and you just can't, once you're in it, you don't really seem to be able to walk away from it. So the film comes out on Friday. But no, we don't have any plans to continue the story. I think, like a lot of sports documentaries or any independent documentaries, there's lots of financial challenges to keep any story going. Like I said before, we started this project and it was going to be called A Year with Amir. It ended up being 2.5 years with Amir. So we really had to make that budget stretch. So our fate was really intertwined with Amir's, the film's fate, let's say, where Amir was searching, really chasing greatness and searching for this super fight that would really put him on an international kind of stage. And that's what he'd always been dreaming of. He was chasing Floyd and then Manny Pacquiao for so long, and both of those fights never materialized. So I think when the Canelo fight came along as an opportunity too big to turn down, and he took it, with all the risks involved, he knew what they were, but he didn't care. He wanted that fight, he wanted that super fight, and he wanted that opportunity to prove himself as one of the best fighters in his, kind of era. So yes, I think for us, the story ended on the night of that fight. And we knew it was going to win or lose. That was the end of the film. We'd been filming for 2.5 years, and we really needed just a big fight to end on. It didn't really matter whether it was a win or a loss. That was the end goal, to just get that fight. Boxing is one of those sports where so much of what you want as an individual fighter is out of your control. It's not like football, where there's going to be a season and there's going to be a champion. You win, you lose, it doesn't really matter. Boxing's very fickle. You lose one fight, people don't want to know you anymore. They don't want you to have another opportunity. It's very difficult to come back. So it's a true testament to Amir's character that he has reached those heights and come straight down to the bottom. He has had some knockouts, but he's always got back up and had the belief in himself that he's going to be world champion again. So you'll see at the end of the film is an amazing kind of reaction that he had to such a devastating kind of loss. And I think that really shows his true character in those final moments after that fight.
Thank you for watching Muse. If you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click on all the other videos you see to watch more of our content.